Close your eyes and imagine an engineer. Really picture this person in your head. They invent and design, analyze and build, apply math and science to real-world scenarios. This person is a little nerdy, great at math, they got good grades in school, and let's be honest, they already have their tickets to tomorrow's Star Wars premiere. Are you picturing a man? Open your eyes. Why do we tend to picture people like Bill Nye and Howard Wolowitz when we think of engineers? Why don't we think of Edith Clark, who literally wrote the book on electrical engineering, or April Erickson, who is the first female African-American to receive her PhD in engineering, and now she works at NASA? And why don't we picture someone like Isis Anchely? Isis is a software development engineer who is featured in a 2015 ad for the company for whom she works. This is the ad. People responded, well, she doesn't look like an engineer. I mean, she's a woman, and she's way too pretty. So what? Why do we think that a woman can either be beautiful or smart, but not both? You, my friends, have just met a creature that lives within all of us, known as unconscious bias. This monster is the root of all sorts of prejudices, such as against people of a different skin color or the LGBTQ community. This, in fact, okay, and it's known as unconscious bias. Just lost my spot. We're good, though. In fact, in the United States, in my field, mechanical engineering, women comprise less than 8% of the workforce. First of all, that's ridiculous. Second, why do so few women pursue engineering? I mean, the characteristics that make a great engineer know no gender. Well, the path that veers girls away from STEM careers starts much earlier than you might think. There's a decision that is made by people that math is too hard for girls. Do you know what age that decision is made? 6. Kindergartners have developed the unconscious bias that math is too hard for girls. Where does a 6-year-old learn unconscious bias anyways? Well, let's take a look at the toys that are marketed to boys. Legos and Transformers and video games. They all help boys develop how to do math and count and about spatial reasoning. What about girls' toys? Well, they teach girls how to do math. No, they don't. I'm kidding. No. They teach them how to be homemakers. Yeah, there are pink Legos, but more often there are ironing boards and pint-sized kitchens and baby dolls. So while boys have been learning about spatial reasoning, girls have been learning how to sweep. Suddenly they enter school where they're faced with hard subjects like math for the first time. Guess who thinks they're going to do better? Yeah, the boys. They've had years of prep work. So girls already start out a little behind and then faced with the unconscious bias of, well, I'm probably not going to be good at it anyways. Why bother? There's a fairly new company that has revolutionized children's toys by disrupting the pink aisle. They studied the way that children play, and when they gave boys building blocks, they would build tall towers and then knock them down, whereas girls created scenes and elaborate stories that went along with them. So instead of making pink versions of boys' toys, they created toys that would actually engage girls in play that had stories that went along with them so that girls can learn the same skills that boys have been learning for years. And the founder of the company, a female mechanical engineer who graduated from Stanford. So let's start replacing typical girls' toys with toys that will help girls develop an engineer's brain. There's a camp in Oklahoma City for girls who want to learn how to write computer code. There was recently a 10-year-old girl who was so excited to attend. She could not wait to build her first electric circuit. She saw the soldering station across the room and practically danced over to it, just giddy to get started. And her mom yells after her, no, honey, you don't want to learn how to solder. You'll get your dress dirty. These things we tell our children have profound impacts on them. Calling little girls sweet and princess just further reinforces the idea that they're valued for superficial things and there's no need to be smart. We can do better. Let's start valuing our girls for their intelligence and for their beauty. And whenever you start thinking of engineers, doctors, scientists, instead of referring to them as he and him, start assuming they're all women and say she and her. And the next time that you imagine an engineer, maybe you'll imagine a woman. Thank you. Thank you.